Hello, this is STEM Choir, and today we're going to be learning about compound inequalities. So, a compound inequality is basically two inequalities being put together. And to learn about compound inequalities, we first have to learn about two major concepts, which is and or. And is an intersection between two sets, and or is a union between two sets. So, in an intersection, both of the elements of the sets have to be the same, or they have to intersect, versus in a union the answer just has to be in one of the sets. So it could be in both of the sets, but it just has to be in one. So looking at this example here, x is less than 7 and x is greater than 6. If we were to plot this on the number line, we would get x is less than 7 here and x is greater than 6. And since this is and, what we're going to be doing is looking for where both of the lines overlap. And that would be between 6 and 7. So the answer for this would be 6 is less than x is less than 7. But now if we were looking at it from an or perspective, it's the same question, so we would plot the same thing. But our answer would be all real numbers because an or is a union. So that means the answer just has to be in one of the sets. So anywhere where at least one line is there, that could be an answer. So the answer would be all real numbers. Next, we can move on to a bit more difficult questions, but they're not that hard. So, looking at this problem, the first thing we would need to do is simplify the inequality to the simplest form. So, we can do 6x is less than 6, x is less than 1. That was simple. And then we can do 7x is greater than negative 7, and then we get x is greater than negative 1. Since this question is asking for and, if we were to plot this on a number line, where this would be 1 and this would be negative 1, x is less than 1 and x is greater than negative 1. So our answer would be negative 1 is less than x, which is less than 1. But if we were to look at the same problem, and instead of and, look at it as an or, our answer would be all real numbers because each line is going through the whole number line in the opposite directions. Okay, now we can look at this next problem. This next problem, it looks a bit more confusing, but it's really not. So basically, since there's two signs, but there's three values, what we're going to do is we're going to split each inequality to two parts. So we're going to do negative 9 is less than 3x plus 6 as one inequality, and then up here we can do 3x plus 6 is less than 12, and split that up into each two inequalities, and then find the and of both of them. Since they're put together like this and they're put in one set, we would need to find the and, or the intersection between both of them. So solving this, we would get 3x is less than 6, x is less than 2, and here we would get negative 15 is less than 3x, negative 5 is less than x. Okay, so next, since we need to find the and of this, we can plot this on a number line to make it easier for us. So negative 5 and 2. So 2 is less than x, and x, we can rewrite that to make more sense. X is greater than negative 5. So we would have this. And since this is an and we're trying to find the intersection, our answer would be negative 5 is less than x, which is less than 2. So that's it for compound inequalities.